I want to share my experience with spiritual pains because this started with um, not being able to walk. I started to not be able to walk, and then I went on medications and I stopped sugar right away, and that helped me. But actually, I really wasn't able to walk because I was still dragging my feet, or I had to shuffle my feet across like the ground as I would move. Um, or anytime going up like stairs, just have to hold on to something the whole time. So that was really like the starting point, and it's just progressed to a better place gradually over time. And I can share more on that, like that whole journey, because I mean, it's here. I'm walking. Basically, you can kind of see that. But I've learned a lot from it. And what I wanted to share just now, I just sat down here and just wanted to start recording, was this can be an indication of clairsentient ability. So, I have to put it out there. If you're experiencing something that's really difficult like this, use your discernment over if you want to see a medical professional or, whatever is legit right there. But in my experience more recently, I would go through experiences or I would talk to a certain person, and there would be an association to that experience or that person within me that I have associated to that was I was gaining some guidance from it, but to an extent that was unrealistic because the pain was so difficult. And I started to really resist the pain. It was really confusing because it made me feel like it must be about this person. There must be something about this person that is terrible for me to be feeling like this awful pain in this specific part of my body. Maybe it's related to something, like if it were here, it would be related to the feelings of the heart on this left side of the body in the feminine nature. So, I started to understand aspects like that. But that helped me in a sense, and it didn't really get me all the way there to more of a clairsentient ability with it. It started to become this thing where I realized that the pain was guidance. It wasn't something against me. It wasn't this struggle to come up against something and to feel like, oh, I have a pain, I have to go clear my energy, I have to be in control of what's going on. That was really the shadow aspect of this whole experience for me, because personally, medical professionals weren't able to help. They were able to prescribe medications, and that was pretty much it. Or to recommend, like, I get, a walker or a cane and a wheelchair and all this stuff like that. It was very limiting, and I wasn't able to settle for that, which is a great thing. It led me into this pattern of behavior of not listening to certain forms of guidance. And it's just ironic because, the pain is guidance. The pain is saying something about how we feel about the situation that we're in. And it can be really difficult when it's at the most intense part of it. Like, one of the worst days, I remember feeling like there was an elephant standing on me. Seriously. Like, it was that bad. But I can maybe offer more, like, words on this at a later date, just like the whole process or the experience with it. But I'm saying just in general, like, if you're having these lighter pains, or if you're having pains that, like, I don't want to go into the realm of what is considered extremely dire at this moment, but I'll use myself as the example. I've started to allow it more. I got to a point where the pain lessened and it wasn't as intense, so that started to become easier to do. But I would get, like, let's say I spoke with a new person and I don't know this person, and I got a pain in the right side of my heart or something. I've started to see this as guidance about what my higher self, my guides are telling me about the situation, my nervous system, how it's responding to this situation. Instead of overthinking it, and instead of trying to control it, instead of trying to find an immediate solution to clear the energy right away, or to find, some kind of other external solution to it, I'm discussing more of an internal solution. And the internal solution for me has been to feel that feeling and turn towards it, to say yes to that feeling and allow it to be there for that moment. And that's why I'm saying, like, if things are really intense for you in this, like, realm of discussion of pain, that's it can be difficult to get to that point, like, immediately. It is possible, but yeah, I'm going to back away from that again. But it starts to become this thing where, like, when you relax in your body and you allow what your body is telling you, it's important not to see it as a fight. It's important not to see it as, the fight against chronic pain, the struggle against this pain. And start to honor that your body is trying to tell you something. Your body is wanting you to know something that is very natural, a very natural response. It's trying to be helpful. And may not always feel like that in the moment. But when you start to change the narrative over how you respond to it, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And it becomes this guide. For me, it's become a guidance. It's become a psychic ability for me to be able to sense what the energy is in a room, or for me to talk to a certain person and I immediately know how I feel about that. As far as, like, with pain and stuff goes, I mean, for me, it's also involved, like, foods that I eat, what makes me feel good and what doesn't. That's the most simple way to put it. Sometimes it's not always food. Sometimes it's situations that we're in, or circumstances, or certain ways of thinking, certain ways of being that we're just not that happy with. But that's really complicated to get into that topic. I'm just wanting to say that there is something good behind it. It can lead you into a better place as you understand that your body is wanting to guide you, that there's a guidance system there. I can't speak for your situation whatsoever on this. I mean, if I was feeling like an elephant was standing on me and someone was just like, oh, just love your pain. Oh man. I would at least, like, say it out loud. I'd be like, I love my pain. Okay, great. Like, so, but that actually can make a difference. It made a difference for me to change the narrative. So I would be, like, talking to my pain. I would be saying things like, I choose to have this feeling right now, or I love this feeling, I love my body, I accept what I am feeling at this moment, or just to close my eyes and just really feel what I'm feeling at that moment. I just wouldn't say that it's an instantaneous process, and it is the kind of thing that, for me, it led me into feeling like I was in control of my feelings. I mean, I was managing my feelings. I feel like there's a difference between managing your feelings and being in control of your feelings, if you get my drift. There's one way of being with this where it can feel like you're being controlling, And there's another way of being where it can feel like you're understanding your feelings and you're able to guide yourself in the right direction. Because like that controlling aspect would be pushing it away. That would be having a feeling in your body and saying, not this again. Like, what did I do wrong? What is it this time? You know, I guess I'll have to grab a certain crystal or some salt or, you know, whatever it is that works for you. And over managing it to an extent that becomes like control, and then that can reflect in the external reality as like a controlling environment or a mirroring energy that is giving the influence of control, which then like you can then reflect back because you feel like you need to be in control because that's in control, and it's all starting from this physical pain that, you know, like I said, for myself, nobody was able to help me with, except a lot of the inspiration online definitely helped me. It's just it took this willingness to embrace the experience and try something like this that I'm discussing with you right now. The acceptance of the feeling, the understanding that there's a positive basis of intent from like your body to get you there. I mean, like imagine if you had some kind of rash or a bite or something, or like this of a little owie there. If I'm like itching it, there's a reason. Like my body is doing that for a reason. It's guiding me to tell me something about whatever that is. It's just like with this stuff, with physical pain. And I feel like this is such a large topic. I don't know if I'll post this. Or if I do post this, maybe I'll post this and I'll come back to it. Because I don't want to discuss it too much. It is like, it's a big deal. But I will say that there is absolutely positive hope, and there's a huge, if this is something that you're suffering with, you can definitely get through it. Absolutely. If I could do it and I could like make a crap load of mistakes, then maybe I can guide someone toward a positive outcome with this without having to go through all the extra stuff that I had to go through because it sucked. And that would mostly be over wanting to manage, fighting against the pain and trying to manage it too much, instead of really feeling it. And maybe I'll expand on all of this, like, we'll see. I'm feeling more motivated to film videos again. But on the other end of the discussion of what I brought up, there is a psychic ability there. There's a sense of really, of a clairsentience, in a way that if you can really allow what's coming up and receive that information, then it can guide you toward wonderful things in your life instead of resisting it. So that's all I have. Maybe more on this later. I'm posting all kinds of stuff now, so we'll just see about all of this.